Hi all, Abe here, and welcome back to the channel. Here's hoping you and yours, as always, are doing well. Today, we are doing another first for the channel. A video on my experiences with my first and favorite MMO, Final Fantasy XI, as it was when I first played it, and my hopes to recapture its essence with the advent of a new private server, HorizonXI. This will be a discussion video with my thoughts on Final Fantasy XI as a whole, but I will have future gameplay videos of my journey through Horizon after it launches on December 17th. So if you're interested in what I have to say, and you're still here, then let's pop in. Let's see what we can get into. I remember playing with my buddies on Halo 2, eagerly awaiting Halo 3's launch, and noticing that when not playing Halo 2, the bulk of them were playing Final Fantasy XI. Naturally, I wanted to play also, and when I inquired about the game, they gave me the rundown. It's an MMO. We group together and kill monsters and level up on this vast open world, but with swords and magic. Oh, so basically I thought it's Halo just without guns. They were like, no, not really. You just kind of have to experience it. So I was like, okay, I'm in. And they were like, well, hold on, there is a catch. There's a monthly fee in order to play. Really? I found that extremely odd. But it was a minimal fee, and I wanted to see what all the fuss was about, so I went to Circuit City and picked up a copy. And after a bonkers account creation system and a lengthy install process, I was in. And I was hooked. And I played the game for 6 years straight, and on and off again for another 7. It was a punishing game that did not respect your time, that did not hold your hand, and it was next to impossible to play without a wiki or a guide. And I was hooked. No maps, no mounts, minimal fast travel capabilities, and I was still hooked. Traversing the world mostly on foot could take real-life hours to get to your destination. And once there was a real possibility that you will come away empty-handed. And yet, I was hooked. Memories of that time are very much looked at with rose-colored glasses. And to play such a game today would be simply ludicrous. So why? Camping a boss monster for hours in order to acquire an item you've been seeking, only to have it claimed by some random person passing through the zone because you took a quick bathroom break, is demoralizing and infuriating. So, why? Why do I find myself excited to jump into this madness again? I could tell you that the game's story and lore are amazing. And that would be true. That the music is phenomenal. And that would be true. That the crafted zones are varied and entice exploration. And that also would be true. Given how difficult the game could be and how time-consuming though, why? Right now, I'm struggling myself, wrestling with this question. Why do you want to come back to this? After some reflection, the answer is quite simple, if not obvious. It's people. Whoa, now hold on, Abe. The same can be said about any other MMO or multiplayer game. So why this one? Well, that too is simple. It was my first. It was my first MMO, my first Final Fantasy game, but more importantly, it was my first experience of party play with real people. My first time in making lifelong friends that I have never met in person, but talked with on the phone outside of the game world, still to this day. Sure, I played competitive first-person shooters, but I didn't get to know anyone other than my core group of friends. And anyway, it's just not the same. Content that required 18 people to beat so as to benefit a few who needed the loot was a standard affair at endgame, and we were happy to do it, because they in turn would help us when our time came. The punishing mechanics of the game, forced structure and cooperation, and the development of communities in a virtual space. That was all new to me. Lively discussions about everything under the sun were to be had. People will log in, not to play, just to chat with folks, talk about their problems, and get support from teammates that were strangers, and then became friends. Facebook was just released to the general public the year before, Twitter was in its infancy, and Discord didn't exist. World of Warcraft was only available on PC, and it didn't appeal to me as a console gamer, but I'm sure those who did play the game probably echo the same sentiments I've mentioned here. So, for us, well, for me, this was our social network. People from all walks of life, of diverse backgrounds, played this game, and I was enriched with my interactions with them. So yes, it was hard, and yes, I played for many years and enjoyed the game despite its many shortcomings. But soon enough things would change, and the world of Vana'diel would never be the same. In 2010, the Abyssia add-ons were released, and the game fundamentally changed. The content transformed the game in many ways, and to get into all the details will be another video entirely on its own. But in a nutshell, well, a few nutshells. It killed the reliance of large groups to clear content, and small group XP parties beyond level 30. It changed from a sandbox horizontal progression system to a theme park vertical progression system. In a horizontal system, player progress is measured by obtaining new abilities and attributes or stats on the equipment they acquire. And by doing so, the older content can still be played and would still be relevant. However, in a vertical progression system, you rely heavily on content tiers, where your current armor and weapons are now trash, and you need to complete the new content to get the next tier of equipment, making all content before it obsolete. With one swift stroke, this implementation made all the most sought-after gear irrelevant, making all endgame content before it outdated and unnecessary. Suddenly, zones that used to have a vibrant player presence became ghost towns, where before large groups would gather to help out a few, now a mercenary culture was on the rise, where small 3-player groups would clear the new content for you for a fee. But hey, yes, I know. This is pretty much the norm nowadays in modern MMOs. But at that time, it was a disruptive force that many could not overcome, myself included. And so, wishing for greener pastures elsewhere, with the soon-to-be-released Final Fantasy XIV, I left. Over the years, I would pop back in, and still do, from time to time. I would play for a while, and I'll find some enjoyment. But then I start to remember how it used to be, and I find that I miss it. Insane, right? The game is much easier now. It's a fast travel bonanza, mounts galore, maps easily obtainable, and AI party members that let you solo almost the entirety of the game without needing to talk to anyone if you don't want to. And typically, with any new MMO I've tried, these are all the things I want. But I don't want it in Final Fantasy XI. So it turns out that I'm not the only one that feels this way. Final Fantasy XI has a vibrant private server scene that tries to address this sentiment. Many exist that try to capture the pre-Abyssea 75 era I'm looking for, and other servers go in a completely different direction, tackling custom content or seeking to emulate the game as it currently exists, preserving as much of the game as possible before it inevitably gets shut down. 2 years ago, I first discovered this and have tried out a few servers here and there. And while their efforts are commendable and the content still enjoyable, none of them seem to have hooked me. Enter HorizonXI. There has been a lot of hype surrounding this server. How a group of volunteer developers, musicians, artists, social media managers, programmers, hardware engineers, cybersecurity experts, data scientists, and many more that I'm sure I'm missing, have banded together to make a server us old-time players have wanted and can call home. And I can't help but be excited about it. There's new music and new character models for the character creator, with updated visuals throughout, all of which you can turn off if you don't want them. Lots of cosmetic changes to make the old gal look fresh and new. In addition, some job adjustments have been made to make some player classes more viable, and many other tweaks to the game while maintaining the era feel I'm looking for. At least, I hope. But the best part, at least for me, is their vision of what Final Fantasy XI would have been had Square Enix continued to develop the game without ever raising the level cap from level 75, maintaining horizontal progression in content and gear, and future plans involving rebalancing and retooling of every post-Abyssea content and expansion that currently exists, and scaling it down to a level 75 cap. That's astonishing. This all seems very ambitious, and it is my hope that it will all come to fruition. If you're interested at all in this, I encourage you to take a look at their website or their Discord and be a part of the conversation. I'll have those links below in the description. As for me, well, I'm bought in. I'm ready. I'll be more of a casual player this time around, as I have other responsibilities, not to mention other videos that I have to make. But I'm excited to see what new experiences and friendships I can make. I'll be covering some of my progression on the channel, along with some quest-specific videos, and if you're interested in that sort of thing, please look forward to it and come back and visit. Well, I'm going to leave that there for now, folks. Thank you all very much for watching. My name's Abe. Catch you all on the next one. Bye for now.